Welcome to the Solbrick Show, where I'm currently Bob Rossing these clouds on my Lego room wall. I'm also working on my custom Lego town called Soltown, so if you're into Lego city buildings and landscaping, this is the place to be. In a previous video I added this Oaktown skyscraper, which I might add more floors to in the future, depending on how the overall composition comes together. The scaffolding that supported the skyscraper underneath was a bit too flimsy, so I constructed this more general support system for the back row. Yes, there will be more buildings here in the track area. They will mostly consist of facades. These buildings will act a bit like mountains do in a regular model railroad layouts, where they hide the fact that the track is just a loop. This layout is inspired by the Swedish Skrotnisse show that was popular when I was a wee lad. Well, I'm still a wee lad at heart. The facades for today will basically be inspired by this yellow building in the back. The sign says Konsum, which means consume, and that used to be a grocery store chain for communists. They only sold bread, but just one loaf. Instead of this dark building, I want to have one in Lego flesh color, which of course means yellow. What we have here is the first floor with the grey plaster on it. Nothing too fancy, only 2 studs deep, so the train can pass behind here and not get stuck. Now, if the train passes behind here, it will be visible through the windows, spoiling the illusion, so I'm blocking that out with this panel piece in black and a simple black build behind the door. Then this ventilation unit based around a turntable. This will go into the Technic brick holes up here. This sign with some lovely produce and the sign with the super expensive carrots. That's 5 hurdy-dirty money. Move that to the side. I made this shop sign because Konsum is just such a long name. This is the letter design from set 10211 Grand Emporium from 2010. Still in the Konsum colors of blue and white though. I have these brackets on the side and that's where the canopy is going in to make it a bit more posh. Put that together. This warm yellow just looks so warm and nice. Love it. So I've made the whole facade in that color. Brown windows and flowers to symbolize life and nature. This floor needs to be just a facade, making sure that the higher train cars can pass behind the building. Alright, so this isn't that pretty at the moment, but that's because the roof and the sides won't be visible in the end, so I'm using pieces that I'm not intending to use for other buildings. And I for some reason seem to have a lot of the new road plates. Don't know how that happened. However, I will change the walls in a future video when I build a custom apartment for this floor. So make sure to subscribe and stay away from the FOMO. This floor will be on top here, but since it currently is missing a support at the back, I'll have to put it in its place in the layout first. Let's pop it in back here in the corner, nice and snugly behind the fire station. And that just kind of rests pretty good back there. This roof is a disaster. I really don't like it. It needs to change, nephew. As you can see in this picture, the roofs are mostly black or dark bluish. I think that black looks more realistic for Swedish town buildings. This is similar to the roof for my farm barns, with clips acting as hinges, so we can angle the plates. Speaking of plates, I've used the minifig stand plates for this roof. For the backside, I'm going with a more rough look to save on tiles. That goes in like so. That looks rather lovely, but what about second building? Yeah, it's in the classic Lego flesh color with a super clean design. If you, like me, know how to read, you can see that the sign says pets, and that's due to it being a pet shop, boys. The panel piece with the pet shop sticker on it creates a bit of an interior. I might add that to more of my facades when I get hold of the right stickers, because it's a good trick. I'll put in a sign next to the door when I find the tile. The pet sign is of course from set 10218 Pet Shop from 2011. I've kinda learned my lesson from the previous facade and made this upper floor a bit more simple in its design and more ready for future interiors. The roof is also a bit more stable with a slope-based front, but still utilizing a plate backside for that custom angle. And that pops in like so. wiggle that a bit so it aligns proper. That looks rather lovely, but it's clearly missing a sidewalk. And like magic, that's now in place with the checkered chess pattern I prefer for footways and that kind of nonsense. A close-up of the shop's front. As you can see, they do sell one loaf, but also some fruits, so that's progress. Good news, I found the plate for the pet shop. That completes the look for the time being. Oh, we must not forget the pedestrians. She can stand here and contemplate over life's meaninglessness, and the other lady can be standing over here. Maybe they can be friends. Alrighty, it's starting to look pretty nice in this part of the layout. The black scaffolding looks a bit industrial, but that will be covered up. From this angle we can see the emptiness of everything, but that's fine. I've kind of mapped this corner out a bit with these panels. It's going to be a bit tricky because I only have one stud of space there. You can really get some nice shots of the town section now, and this will just improve for each added building. Let's fly over the area with my drone. What a time to be alive, my dear A-foals, T-foals and K-foals. Would you look at that, huh? And the Bob Ross clouds kind of looks like they're moving when I pan the camera. With that said, stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome, and please subscribe. And watch out for the boochie booch!